Hello students, welcome to Study Life. In this video, we are going to talk about the mechanism of anti-Markovnikov's rule. So let's first have a quick revision of what is anti-Markovnikov's rule, and then we will start with what is the mechanism involved in anti-Markovnikov's rule. So let's get started with the word that is anti-Markovnikov's rule. So here this is CH3, CH double bond CH2. This is the unsymmetrical alkene. This unsymmetrical alkene reacts with HBr, that is unsymmetrical reagent, and this gives you the formation of, again there are two products coming up, and here the most important thing, the reaction takes place in presence of peroxide. So here the reaction takes place in the presence of peroxide. When this reaction takes place in presence of peroxide, as we've discussed, two products are formed. Let us write those two products: CH3, CH2, CH2, Br, and the another one is CH3, CH, this is here Br, and this is CH3. Now the name of the two compounds that we have, this is CH3, CH2, CH2Br. This is called as 1-bromopropane. This is 1-bromopropane, and here this is called as 2-bromopropane. The two compounds getting here are 1-bromopropane and 2-bromopropane, and as per the anti-Markovnikov's rule, 1-bromopropane is supposed to be the major product. Previous example of Markovnikov's rule, there you have 2-bromopropane as the major product. Here 1-bromopropane is the major product and 2-bromopropane is the minor product. Now the question is, why does this happen, or what is the mechanism that is lying in this reaction? So to start with the mechanism, first step, what exactly happens here? We are using here peroxide. So because we are using the peroxide, first step, now in the mechanism there are different steps involved. The step one, the first step, step one, that is formation of free radical. What exactly happens here is the formation of free radical. Now in this formation of free radical, how does the free radical forms? We are using here peroxide. Let's take an example of benzoyl peroxide. Now the benzoyl peroxide is, say, C6H5 C double bond O, single bond O, single bond O, C double bond O, C6H5. Now this compound is what is called as benzoyl peroxide. Yeah, this is benzoyl peroxide. Now in this benzoyl peroxide, this will undergo homolytic bond fission. Now in the previous case when we were talking about in Markovnikov's rule, there we have discussed that is heterolytic bond fission for HBr. Now here what happens? Here it is homolytic bond fission. Now where will the homolytic bond fission takes place? That's also quite interesting. This O single bond O. See this O single bond O? This O single bond O is where you have the peroxide linkage, and this is where the bonds will begin to break, begin to separate as a homolytic bond fission, and this will result into the formation of, this will give you here C6H5 C double bond O, single bond O with a free electron. Because this is a single bond, homolytic bond fission taking place, 1 electrons equally distributed, one for this oxygen, one for next oxygen. So this is C6H5 C double bond O, single bond O, and this electron. And another side, same thing, C6H5 C double bond O, single bond O. So directly you can mention this 2 times. So I hope this is very clear to all the students. C6H5 C double bond O, single bond O, this is one group. C6H5 C double bond O, single bond O, another group. So 2 molecules of the compounds are formed, and this is called as, this is benzoyl peroxide, this is called as benzoyl free radical. So this gives you the formation of benzoyl free radical. Now from this benzoyl free radical, what happens? From this benzoyl free radical, carbon dioxide is released out. If carbon dioxide, you can see here C double bond O, single bond O. Now this basically what happens exactly, I'll tell you with the mechanism. this single bond is shifted here. So this loss of this single bond is there. This again undergoes homolytic fission. Now when this bond breaks, this will give you the formation of CO2. So plus CO2. So this bond shifts here. This is CO2. How many times? 2 times. So this is plus 2 times CO2. So 2 times carbon dioxide is given out. What else we have? We have 2 times C6H5. So this is here 2 times C6H5 with an electron here. And this is called as phenyl free radical. So this is the formation of phenyl free radical. So step 1, that is the formation of free radical. How does this formation of free radical takes place? C6H5 C double bond O, single bond OO and C6H5, that is benzoyl peroxide. This benzoyl peroxide undergoes homolytic bond fission. And when this homolytic cleavage occurs, because of that it forms benzoyl free radicals. And from that benzoyl free radicals, carbon dioxide 2 molecules are given out, and what you get is phenyl free radical. So this is the first step where the formation of free radical takes place. And after this formation of free radical occurs, the second one is the action of HBr. Now we'll be talking about the next step, what happens in the second step, that is the action of HBr. Now what exactly happens in the action of HBr? How does this HBr takes part in the reaction? Let's start with that reaction as well. So let's get started here. C6H5, 1 electron, that is free radical, plus HBr. Now this also undergoes homolytic fission because C6H5 has a free radical. This will induce here also homolytic fission, and because of that homolytic fission, this hydrogen adds here, and this gives you the formation of what you will get here is C6H6 plus. Now this is C6H6 getting formed here, plus what is left out? Bromine with 1 electron, and this is called as bromine free radical. So you get here the formation of bromine free radical. So in your second step, action of HBr, it is the phenyl free radical combining with HBr. Yes, homolytic fission again. Because of that homolytic fission, hydrogen gets added here, gives you C6H6 plus bromine with a free radical, and this is how the free radical forms here. Now we come to the third and the very important step where the alkene has to add, the unsymmetrical alkene has to add. So in the third step, let's talk about in the third step, addition of unsymmetrical alkene. So now we are talking about the addition of unsymmetrical alkene. Now how will this addition of unsymmetrical alkene take place? With the help of this bromine free radical. Let's begin. CH3, CH, double bond CH2 plus this is here bromine free radical. Now when this is reacting with bromine free radical, again there are 2 possibilities. Now this is something very interesting. Again there are 2 possibilities. Now when there are 2 possibilities, what exactly happens? Again the homolytic fission taking place here, and this is the separation of electrons. Now when there is separation of electrons taking place here, there are 2 possibilities. Br can get attached here with CH, or the another possibility, Br can get attached with CH2 because of the homolytic bond fission. Now when this happens, what exactly happens here in the reaction? CH3, CH. Now this is CH here. Now let's take the first one, that is towards the left hand side. Now towards the left hand side, if I say the arrow, now this is here CH, electron has been shifted here. So this gives me a free radical. So this is here CH with a free radical getting here, and this Br gets attached. So this is now here CH2 and this is Br. So CS3, CH with a free radical and Br getting attached. The another possibility that you can have is CH3, CH, Br, CH2 with a free radical. Now again see this carefully. CS3, CH with one free radical here and CH2 Br. The another possibility talking about CH3, CHBr, CH2 with a free radical. This happens when the electrons are distributed in the either side. One electrons can be set to the CH and one electron to the CH2 group. And that is how this bonds will undergo breaking, and it will give you the formation of free radicals. Now, what are these free radicals again? Again, the same example we need to talk about. Carbon with one electron, and there are two bonds with it. Means which one? Secondary, correct. So this is 2-degree free radical, secondary free radical. And here this is primary free radical. So it gives you the formation of secondary free radical and primary free radical. So two free radicals are formed here. Again, stability, same like the previous one, that is carbocations. The stability order, I'll just mention here in a box, the stability order for free radicals, 3 degree, greater than 2 degree, greater than 1 degree. So this is the stability order once again, 3 degree, greater than 2 degree, greater than 1 degree. So once this happens, now the last step that has to take place is addition with HBr. Now it's the addition with the next HBr molecule, the fourth one, addition with HBr. Now when this is addition with HBr, let's take the reaction that we were talking about here. Obviously 2 degree free radical, 1 degree free radical. Which one is more stable? Yes, 2 degree is more stable. So that we will take here for the reaction. So taking that for the reaction, what we get is CH3, CH with a free radical here, and CH2, Br. Now this will combine with, we said HBr. When this combines with HBr, yes, this is H plus. So this is H plus, so that H plus needs to be combined with CH. This H will combine with CH because of the homolytic bond fission, and what you have left out is Br. So what you get here, CH3, CH2, CH2, Br plus Br free radical. So this bromine free radical is left out at the end, which will be reacting with the next molecule. And this gives you the formation of CH3, CH2, CH2, Br, which is called as 1-bromopropane. And this is your major product. We have said already that this is the major product. So let's cross check. Is this 1-bromopropane the major product? Yes, 1-bromopropane is the major product. So this is the mechanism for anti-Markovnikov's rule. So in a nutshell, we'll just have a quick revision. What is mechanism of anti-Markovnikov's rule? The first step, formation of free radical. Now for the formation of free radical, it is the benzoyl peroxide which generally provides the free radical. In that first step gives you benzoyl free radical and then phenyl free radical. That's the first important step. Second one is the action of HBr. Now once the phenyl free radical has been formed, that phenyl free radical will combine with HBr and will give you the formation of benzene plus bromine free radical. Now this bromine free radical, once it forms, again undergoes bond fission over here, and when it undergoes bond fission over here, as there are two possibilities, getting it as CH with one electron here, free electron, and CH2Br getting bonded. Another possibility, CHBr and CH2 with one free electron here. So that means what we get? Yes, we get two things, 2 degree free radicals, 1 degree free radicals. Coming back to stability, yes, the stability order says 3 degree, greater than 2 degree, greater than 1 degree. And finally, when it is action with HBr, this is how you get 1-bromopropane as the major product, which is the confirmation of your anti-Markovnikov's rule. So I hope this is clear to everyone. So in our upcoming videos, we'll talk about more mechanisms, more reactions. Stay tuned with Study Life. Thank you, students.